If you had the chance to check something off your bucket list, what would you do? Tonight, our Lily Zhao takes us beyond the game to show a wish fulfilled.
There isn't much that Ruth Werning hasn't accomplished in her life. Just ask her oldest son, Dan.
She was way ahead of her time in the 50s and 60s, raising kids. She wandered off to go back and get a bachelor's degree in teaching, and then a master's degree in teaching, and us kids were in charge of the house.
At 102 years young, Ruth has maintained her sharp wit, sense of humor, and love of baseball. She played the sport at a young age and started going Brewers games back in 1927 when she was just 6 years old. Even as a longtime fan, the thought of being included in a Brewers game sounded, well,
I'd probably think it was a foolish question or a foolish thought or an unbelievable idea.
Enter Harwood Place. Ruth is a resident at the assisted living facility in Wauwatosa. On their 35th anniversary, they asked residents for their bucket list items.
You know, when you think of retirement living, it doesn't mean that you have to slow down. In fact, it's just the opposite. It's really about enriching lives. How can we fulfill lives here for the residents?
Ruth's bucket list item was something she hadn't done in her 102 years.
It was partly my daughter Charlotte's fault. And she says, Mom, why don't you do something like throw out the pitch at a Brewer game?
So a once unbelievable idea turned into a reality thanks to Harwood Place and the Brewers.
I was very shocked, surprised, and pleased, overjoyed.
After learning the news, Ruth got some practice throws in and her preferred style of pitching.
They asked if I was going to throw underhand, and I said, no, that's girly. I'm not doing that. I'm throwing overhand.
Her big day at American Family Field finally arrived. Ahead of a highly anticipated matchup between the Brewers and Dodgers, Ruth chatted with manager Pat Murphy and associate manager Ricky Weeks. And in total, around 50 people showed up to support her.
102, 102 and a half, 103 in November, Ruthie.
I did take a look and I thought, whoa, a lot of people around here. Looks like they're looking at me.
Among the crowd were residents and staff from Harwood, her family and friends who came from across Wisconsin and Los Angeles, and her son Dan, who flew in from Thailand.
Really, I am very thankful to them.
To see her face on the Jumbotron, that was exciting.
In front of a packed stadium, Ruth made her major league debut and threw out the first pitch. And she delivered with that overhand strike.
Oh, it was beautiful. She almost suckered the batter. It was a great pitch. Now we'll be able to add that she's a Brewers baseball player.
It was a goal completed Ruth's way.
My goal was just to live through the occasion.
And you did.
I did. It was wonderful. I loved it.
That day, she became one of the oldest people to ever throw out a first pitch at a Brewers game.
Wouldn't miss it.
But what keeps Ruth young is her faith, family, and gratitude. And that formula certainly strikes the perfect pitch. In Wauwatosa, Lily Zhao, FOX 6 Sports.
How impressive. Harwood Place will continue honoring the wishes of their other residents. As for Ruth, the next goal on her bucket list is to just make others smile. And she certainly did that tonight.